My family's annual barbecue was supposed to be a day of laughter, ribs slathered in sauce, and kids chasing fireflies. Instead, it became a battlefield where a conniving florist named Karen turned our joy into a $7,000 nightmare. The sun had barely risen when I found the invoice slipped under my door, the kind of paper that feels like a punch to the gut. $7,000 for floral arrangements and HOA compliance fees for a backyard cookout? I laughed, thinking it was a prank, until I saw her name. Karen Mitchell, self-proclaimed president of our neighborhood's unofficial HOA. A woman who wielded her clipboard like a dictator's scepter. Our quiet suburb of Willow Creek had been under Karen's thumb for years. She wasn't just a florist. She was a one-woman tyranny, turning her flower shop into a front for extorting neighbors. Her HOA wasn't even registered, just a scam she'd built on fake rules and forged signatures. She'd fine people for untrimmed hedges, non-compliant mailboxes, or, in my case, hosting a barbecue without her approved floral decor. The kicker? Her flowers were plastic, overpriced, and hideous. Think neon daisies that screamed dollar store clearance. But nobody dared cross her. She had dirt on everyone, or so she claimed, and her icy stare could silence a room. That morning, I stood in my kitchen, invoice in hand, my wife Marla peering over my shoulder. "She's lost her mind," Marla whispered, her voice trembling with rage. Our barbecue was a tradition, a day to honor my late father, who'd grill for the whole block. This year, we'd invited 50 people, neighbors, cousins, old friends. Karen had shown up uninvited a week prior, insisting we needed her services to meet her HOA's standards. I'd laughed her off, saying we'd handle our own decor. Big mistake. Now, her invoice demanded $5,000 for custom floral arrangements we never ordered and $2,000 for event oversight. Oversight? She'd sat in her car across the street, sipping iced coffee and scribbling notes. I marched to her shop, a pastel monstrosity called Karen's Blooming Boutique. The invoice crumpled in my fist. The bell jingled as I stormed in, finding her arranging fake roses with a smug grin. "Karen, what the hell is this?" I slapped the paper on her counter. She didn't flinch, just raised an eyebrow. "You violated HOA regulations, Tom. You're lucky I didn't fine you more." Her voice was syrupy, laced with menace. I demanded proof of her HOA's authority. She waved a hand, claiming her board had unanimous approval. I knew it was a lie. Our neighborhood had no official HOA, just her made-up rules. But her confidence unnerved me. She had a way of making you doubt yourself, like she held a secret that could ruin you. Back home, I rallied Marla and our teenage son, Jake, to fight back. Jake, tech-savvy and furious, dug into Karen's online presence. Within hours, he found complaints buried on obscure forums, neighbors she'd fleeced for thousands, calling her flowers tacky and her fines extortion. One post claimed she'd charged a widow $3,000 for lawn aesthetic violations after her husband's funeral. Jake's eyes widened as he read aloud. "She's been at this for years." Marla, usually the calm one, slammed her coffee mug down. "We're not paying her a dime. Let's expose her." The barbecue was in 2 days, and we decided to turn it into a reckoning. We spread the word, quietly at first, to neighbors we trusted. By Saturday, our backyard was packed not just with family, but with 60 angry residents, each with their own Karen story. The air smelled of charcoal and rebellion. I'd set up a folding table with a sign, "Karen's fake HOA. $7,000 for this?" Next to it, a pile of her plastic flowers, plucked from her shop's dumpster, sat as evidence. Kids ran around, oblivious, while adults whispered about Karen's scams. Then she arrived. She pulled up in her pristine SUV, heels clicking as she marched toward us, clipboard in hand. "This is an unauthorized gathering," she barked, her voice cutting through the music. The crowd fell silent. I stepped forward, holding up her invoice. "Unauthorized? Like your fake HOA?" Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Karen's face reddened, but she doubled down. "You'll regret this, Tom. I have lawyers." That's when Mrs. Carter, a retired librarian, stepped up, waving a stack of papers. "We've got proof, Karen. Your HOA is a fraud. We've contacted the county." The crowd erupted in cheers, but Karen's eyes narrowed. "You'll all pay for this," she hissed, storming off. By Monday, Jake had posted everything online, screenshots of her fake HOA documents, invoices from other neighbors, even a photo of her dumpster flowers. The post went viral on X, shared thousands of times with hashtags like Karen Scam and Fake HOA. Local news picked it up, and reporters swarmed her shop. Neighbors organized a protest, holding signs outside her store, "Real flowers, real justice." Karen tried to spin it, claiming she was misunderstood. But the evidence was overwhelming. Her shop's Yelp page tanked, flooded with one-star reviews. By Friday, her HOA board, a handful of her cronies, disbanded under pressure. Karen closed her shop and vanished, reportedly moving to another state. But the victory felt hollow. Our barbecue, meant to honor my dad, had become a war zone. Marla and I sat on our porch that night, staring at the invoice, now a relic of our fight. "We won, but at what cost?" she asked. The neighborhood was fractured. Some praised us as heroes. Others resented the drama. Jake, scrolling through X, read comments calling us petty or troublemakers. Even Mrs. Carter, our fiercest ally, admitted she felt guilty for escalating things. Karen was gone, but her poison lingered, sowing distrust among neighbors who'd once shared beers and gossip. The $7,000 was never paid, but the real price was our sense of community. I kept thinking about Dad, how he'd have handled Karen with a grin and a handshake, defusing her with charm. Instead, we'd fought fire with fire, and while we'd won, the ashes were bitter. Karen's scam was a symptom of something bigger: greed, control, the way people exploit trust. As I folded the invoice away, I wondered if we'd been too quick to judge, too eager to fight. Maybe Karen was a villain, but maybe she was also a product of a world that rewards hustle over honesty. What do you think was our fight against Karen's scam worth the cost to our community's unity? How would you balance justice with keeping the peace in a neighborhood torn by greed?